Hi guys, so yeah, we are continuing with our quarterly forecast, looking at some different pairs um, as to how I expect them to navigate the rest of the first quarter. So we've already looked at dollar index, we've looked at Euro USD, and now we're going to look at Pound USD, and hopefully I can squeeze in most probably USD CHF or USD CAD. But now, since we've already noted, okay, rather I must say, since I've already noted that I'm expecting weakness in dollar and expecting strength in euro. Uh, Conversely, pound USD is also supposedly, in terms of correlation, it's supposed to gain strength. So we expect pound to be strong against the USD. So that would be the narrative from a higher time frame point of view. From our MWD, we'll be looking for long opportunities on pound. Now, same applies with the Euro USD. You can clearly see on 9 to 18 month profile on pound USD price is now retraced back to almost a level of equilibrium, as in that range of expansion. So the range of expansion that I'm talking about, guys, is this swing high and this swing low. So this is our monthly 9 to 18 month profile. Though I normally like to disregard such type of wicks. See this wick here on this last down close candle. That's quite huge. So if I'm to go to a line chart quickly, you can clearly see where the levels are, my institutional levels to focus on. I just need to change this line here to a solid line. Red dotted line represents my equilibrium point. All right, so we've got this turning point here, and then we've got this low right here. So I'm talking about this low, this level here, and where the market broke to the upside. So it's not going to be right to the peep. Yeah, just gonna put it like there. This is relatively two equal lows right there. And then what else do we have? We also have this range here. You see, there's most probably redistribution here when price was trading to the downside. Same applies within this area here. There was a reaccumulation, and we are almost in the same phase of reaccumulation on pound USD for a further push to the upside. Now, in terms of targets, what are we looking at? Firstly, we're talking of 1.257. That's the draw on liquidity. Internal range of buy stops above 1.25. That will be your target for longs. And then the next level in terms of target, you're talking of this level here, right? We're talking of $1.32 per pound USD as your draw on liquidity. Right, so the reason why I switched to the line chart by now, you should know, that is to mark out my proper institutional price points. I'm disregarding the manipulation. So you can see that's my 9 to 18 month profile. I'm going to switch back now to the candlestick, and you can see here this is our last up close candle before the huge expansion. Look at that redistribution I was talking about before further push. Look at reaccumulation happening here. See, currently we're in a phase of where we're expecting prices reaccumulating for a further push to 1.25. You can see these relatively equal highs here. We've got internal range liquidity of buy stops. So price is likely to trade above that level. And looking at institutional order flow, right? What do we have here? take note, I'm only focusing on what's in my 9 to 18 month profile. I'll only focus with what's outside of that range if it's got a point of interest. Let's say, for example, right, you see this candle here, this down close candle here, the way it traded below this old low and this initial leg up to the upside. I'll be interested, say, on lower time frame. Right now, our interesting price point number one is 1.229. We're going to round it off to 1.23, and then to the downside, our interesting point of level is 1.2160. You see, those are the main interesting point in terms of price points. Then we've got this imbalance here, right? So you can see we've got internal range liquidity of sell stops right here, and internal range liquidity of buy stops up here, right? What are the chances of price dropping to this level, right? You never know, right? But you need to be in a position to react once there's evidence that, okay, we're likely to see lower prices. But at this moment, I don't see pound USD trading below, let's see, what is this candle here? I don't see pound USD trading below 1.18400. I don't see that happening at this moment in time. Yeah, in the near future, once we see a huge move to the downside, then we know price IPDA is likely heading to fill up that imbalance. Right now, the draw on liquidity is right here above this candle's high. We're talking of 1.26663, right? That's the draw on liquidity. We're expecting price to reach out for these levels in price action. Remember, we're expecting weakness in dollar, though it's not given. All right, the weakness in dollar is not given because we also need to react to the data coming out, guys. It's not just a case of saying, no, the Fed are now easing up, their rate hikes are a bit lower. The Fed can go 50 basis points. You see, they can upset the market and they can go 50 basis points, which in that case, I'm pretty sure dollar is going to gain a bit in terms of its directional bias. We might see a very huge redistribution on redistribution on dollar to be distributing above for price to trade lower. Right now, Euro USD is pound USD is in a phase where we're anticipating it as reaccumulation phase, right? So what would be your expectations in terms of entries, right? You've already analyzed, you've already dissected the monthly chart. So what will be your focus now when you go on lower time frame on pound USD? You'll be likely looking for price to trade into discount, right? Once price trades into discount, you need to have a clearly defined approach to go long on those discount areas, be it waiting for positive news for pound or negative news for a dollar. You see, that's what you have to be looking out for in terms of your catalyst, your evidence to go to the upside. So now that we have marked out our most interesting monthly institutional order flow, I'm just going to go to the weekly. Right now on the weekly chart, what is it of interest? Now remember, the square shaded area, that's our monthly imbalance, which is now clearly defined on the weekly chart, huge liquidity void, right? Look at the current candle for pound USD. That's our weekly candle, right? So far, that weekly candle's high has got an imbalance, right? If you are looking for longs, you're expecting price to fill up this gap here, right? Internal range liquidity of buy stops, right? And we also have bullish order block right here, which is now high probability because it's accompanied by a fair value gap, right? That's high probability bullish order block. So I'm just going to do my dotted line there, equilibrium point of our order block. And we also have imbalance in that range. This candle's high, this candle's low. We have imbalance there below this candle, right below $1.18400. We've got sell stops below that. Yeah, you could see price dip in, take out that liquidity before a further push to the upside, but right now 7% chances that price is likely to fill up this higher imbalance here before any moves to the downside. Now above this relatively two equal highs, see, above these relatively two equal highs, we've got a liquidity pool of buy stops, internal range, controls. Let me just copy this, Control V, right? So some of you have been asking, okay, Ivan, you're only mentioning internal range. What defines external range, right? Now focus on that big weekly candle right at the bottom. See this candle here? This is now outside of our monthly range. That's external range. Okay, let me go back to the monthly chart. See, it's external range. This is all internal range. That's our 9 to 18 month profile. Above here, we've got external range liquidity in the form of buy stops. So you can see here right above 1.244, sorry about that, right above 1.244 we've got our buy stops. As you can see, I always represent them with an X if price hasn't ran those stops, and also above 1.2666, like I mentioned earlier on, we've got a liquidity pool of buy stops, right? So these are your targets in terms of an upside price action, right? These are your targets, irrespective that you are a swing trader or a short-term trader or a intraday trader. You should be in a position to get into a trade and be willing fully enough to hold that trade until your targets are reached, right? So that's our weekly chart. I've only noted the most obvious ones, guys. I don't need to identify my array by scrutinizing each and every candle. I need to be in a position to just identify it and say, oh, there's my array. You can see here, old high, old high, old high. What resides above old high? Buy stops, right? Old low, we've got sell stops, right? So I'm going to go to the daily chart. Now on the daily chart, see why I'm emphasizing more in having that weekly gap being filled than price trading to these levels here. Why I'm saying this level, we really not in a position to see, we should not be in a position to see price trading below $1.18400 at this moment in time, because emphasis is for price to move to the upside. Now, one thing that you guys now need to really understand, right? Once you have your daily levels now, so for intraday trading, right, you can see here I've got a swing point, swing low, and I've got a swing high, right? Now this is now for intraday trading. Now let's mark out our order flow. So you can see we've got a daily bearish OB there, right? We've got a daily bearish OB. I'm not going to mark out its and then we've got daily bullish or B, right? Now, you see this bearish order block here. Where did it find resistance? This is last week's trade, guys. Remember, we discussed this in the group. Price above 1.22 is likely to find resistance because of this order block right here. So now that we have this swing low and swing high, where both sides of the old low, we've got what? Buy stops and sell stops below 1.8, 1.18, 400, and then above 1.24470. This swing low and swing high, for you to define your intraday levels, grab your fib 2 from low to high. This is now you mapping out your retracement levels, where you anticipate price to retrace to for a move to the upside. You can see here we've got our fib levels highlighted. Look where price retraced to, right inside the daily bullish order block. Huge retracement. Since you are hunting for longs, since I'm anticipating longs on pound USD, this move to the downside must never mislead me. Don't be misled by these short-term moves to the downside. These moves are actually re-accumulation, grabbing liquidity before a push to the upside. Now, what could really push pound USD towards 1.24482, which is our first profit scaling level, or what could push it to 1.26120, which is target number 1 if you are using your fibs? Tuesday's event, CPI, right? Tuesday's event, CPI. If we look at the calendar, we also have pound GDP for last quarter, and they're not expecting any growth whatsoever, right? Don't expect the UK economy to have grown whatsoever on their estimates, right? What else do we have in terms of fundamentals? We've got manufacturing productions, monthly GDP, industrial production. So there's quite a lot of pound news right at 9 a.m. And during the rest of the day, there isn't really much. And then if we are looking at next week, Monday, February, we've got CPI for Swiss franc. And then Tuesday, we've got pound average earnings and claimant count change. And then we also have the most anticipated core CPI news, right? So expect those fundamentals to really give a boost to the bulls, right? Give a boost to the bulls heading towards 1.24482. So you can see here, we've already seen that price has found discount right at 1.19. You would have been noting that, okay, that's my bullish order block. Where is your stop? Below 1.18, 400. You see, because once price breaks here, now there's nothing that can stop it to trade all the way to $1.14, which is not what we're expecting at this moment in time. So defining your entries on your H4 chart, right? See the most interesting part. This is our H4 chart, right? Look at the optimum trade entry, look at the 79%, look at the 62%. All these levels are all near our higher time frame discount area. This was a run of stop. See 1, 2. That's a run of stops below 1.20, enticing the market to short. Once there are stops above previous old highs, one candle takes them all out, right? One candle takes them all out, and then boom, market continues going further up. So as we approaching Fridays, which is the weekly close, you can see where price has found resistance, the imbalance, right? The imbalance on the daily chart. On the weekly chart, price has found resistance. So we are likely to see further move lower, heading into those 9 a.m. fundamentals, and then price should move in its intended direction based on the outcome of that news. So yeah, ideally you need to be a long, you need to be hunting for longs on pound USD. One other thing which I need to clarify here, or maybe show you guys, right? So you can see I've placed my fib swing low to swing high, waiting for market retracement for a push to the upside. The same can be done even on the lowest time frame. You can see here we've got a swing low, then price rallied to create a swing high. See this candle? The moment you see that, and you'd have noted, oh, I missed this expansion, you grab your fibs, low to the high. Now is the high right there? So I'm talking about this high, guys, right? Look where price retraced back to again. Optimum entry 62%, 79%. Found support. Support inside what? Daily bullish order block. H4 bullish order block. Boom. Push. Target 1 met. Target 2 is met. Our symmetrical swing has not happened because price was now in premium. You see, there we go. If you'd have missed like this whole initial move to the upside. Some people will likely buy here, you see, and then this retracement is gonna mess up with their margin. This retracement is gonna mess up with their emotion. Now, you as a person trading using smart money concept, institutional concept, when everyone is selling, you're actually looking for buying opportunities. What validates you to be a buyer inside that range? Daily bullish order block, right? H4 bullish order block. Retracement, market expands to the upside. So that's what I wanted to illustrate to you in terms of pound USD. Now, tomorrow I'm going to do, I won't be able to do USD CAD or USD CHF now, guys, because there's ESCOM coming through and I need to render this video, produce it and upload it so that you guys can also see it prior to those GDP news at 9 a.m. So I'm gonna do USD CHF or USD CAD tomorrow. Then your assignment now, guys, is to look at AUD USD, NZD USD, and USD JPY, and do that on your own. And then you can present to me and say, Ivan, I think this is what we should be looking for on AUD USD or NZD USD or USD JPY. So yeah, that's pretty much about it for today, folks. And I hope you guys, you are approaching the market in a proper way. You're not gambling with price. Be systematic, be constructive in your narrative, have clear evidence of what you are looking for. So yeah, with that, I wish you good luck and happy trading, folks. Thank you.